So, sunny day in Berlin. I'm here with Dr. Ortwin Lüers. He's based in Berlin. You may have seen an interview with me and Dr. Ortwin before on Cup of Chi, and I've spent 1.5 days, maybe nearly 2 days training little bits and bobs with Master Ortwin, and it's been fantastic for me, a big eye opener, lots of physical, mental, emotional and spiritual insights, which has been great. I'm traveling home to Ireland today on the Sunday, but we wanted to talk a little bit about what's coming up, hopefully, in Europe and especially in Ireland, and 1st to the 4th of August, hopefully you will come and share Wuji and all concepts in and around Wuji, not just martial, but mainly healing and the healing aspects. So is there any messages you wanted to give to people who are unaware of what this system actually is and what it represents and how it helps people?
I can, yes. So Wuji Quan is a very ancient martial art, and Wuji has several aspects of a martial art, but as well as a healing art, and as well as spiritual means for pacifying the mind and to get calmer and more relaxed and into well-being. I would say not well-being in a wellness sense, but more profound in a way of that you get more absorbed in your energy field and the energy field around you. So you get immediate connection and you get a deep feeling of interconnectedness with it. And this is the reason I train it for about 35 years now and more.
And you were fortunate enough to meet a Grandmaster of his system, plus other things. He was medically well trained as well.
Grandmaster Chee was an extraordinary master of martial arts, and one of the most profound teachings he shared with us had been the Wu Ji Quan and a special Qi Gong called the 12-Step Qi Gong, which is medical Qi Gong connected with the 12 meridians and the organ system in traditional Chinese medicine, which is a full Nei Gong system with martial applications. As well, Wu Ji Quan is a kind of universal or unified form with 36 characters, but only 18 are survived in a way, and the other 18 forms are painted in calligraphy by Master himself, and will be discovered later on, maybe, I hope so. But anyway, the main point here is that Wuji is a kind of universal toolbox with 18 characters, very different each one, and it's very helpful for maintaining condition and health, and it's very helpful for, as I said, for quieting your mind, and very good for meditation. And Bodhidharma, who implemented the art into Shaolin, he was aware of the specialties and about the power and the properties of Wu Ji Quan, and he found it on his when he traveled around Asia, coming from India, and he saw people practicing this and absorbed the deep meanings and the special energy coming out of it and transferred it to Shaolin, especially forest monks, that they get better meditators. So it's the spiritual aspect is interconnected as well. It's a practice which is helping you to interconnect with nature. Yeah.
Do you think it was like the catalyst? I know we have no evidence or proof or anything apart from what's been written. But do you think it was the catalyst for correct training to open up the body for either personal development, maybe energetic development, maybe even martial application if needed? Because to me it seems after the training this weekend there's an infinite possibilities with it, and that you can very much train for fun and for healing and for transmission so that people can feel how special the human body actually is.
Yeah.
More so than what we're taught, and more so that we've learned. Like, I'm a health scientist, you're a medical doctor, and it's in the realms of almost metaphysics or even beyond metaphysics.
Yeah, I think it has a deep meaning in terms of that Wu Ji basically came from simple people in prehistoric times. And Master Chee said that when Wu Ji came from an age where people were barely naked and had to protect themselves against the elements, weather, climate, animals, and so on and so on. So, so it has a quality of deep ecological and personal growth. And it's good for communities to train with it, to have people to train together, and you can use it for various means, like a kind of natural feng shui. You can bless sites with it. You can just, it's like the body, your own body is the whole world. Your own body is the earth. It's the water, it's everything. So it's the microcosm into macrocosm and the other way around. So it's all together, and you benefit from every movement. And so it's coming from folk tradition, and it has no connection. It had no connection with Buddhism before, and it had no connection with Taoism as well. So it's older than that. So Master pointed out that it's really from the folk tradition, and later on by Bodhidharma and his way of systematizing the arts in Shaolin. It had been implemented as an essence of core teaching, practiced more or less secretly because it was not open. It was in a monastic shelter and a monastic setting. So it had been for the monks to develop more power and more health and more capabilities, and for their own spiritual training.
For sure. I do feel there's a huge element of Wuji has this almost spiritual protection. So not only can you defend yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, but you can over time develop kind of a spiritual understanding that can then help you, not saying necessarily protect yourself, but kind of encapsulate yourself with help.
Yes,
because you're resonating at that level for help.
I would, I wouldn't like to much mystify this art, because it's just the protective aspect is, if you increase your energy your field, your
like your aura,
or whatever you will call it.
Yeah, your body language even.
Your body language, and if you feel healthy, and if you feel well and joyful and compassionate, and it's like it's a lively expression of interdependence, I would call it.
Yeah.
And by this interdependence, you are much more aware and much more interconnected with everything.
Yeah.
With every appearance. Can be a car.
Yeah.
Can be a tree.
Yeah, sure.
But it's mainly very good for growth in general.
Yeah.
So it's for fertility in a way. It's just a fertile ground, and you interconnect with this kind of fertility and the growth in general. So it's much more about being in the nature, being with trees, being with animals, being with all this, with water, with the elements. But it can be anything. And if I'm living in a big city, so how to do it? I like to go in a park like here, and for training. But you can play. I played in in very small
spaces,
like hotel rooms or so, not very. Not very
expansive,
nice, and no trees.
Yeah.
But you can play it in a skyscraper. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, fantastic. So, so that's one aspect. Is it's practical, and you can do any level of training. You're not tied to completely doing the whole forms.
No.
You can take aspects and work with those aspects if you wish.
And this is what I called Wuji Dao. So the Wuji Dao concept is a training method I invented to make it more available and more short in a way. So you can have a short form and a big form, and everything which is in the short form will feature the principles which are mainly in Wuji.
Yeah.
So everyone can have a kind of core teaching. With everything inside, although he may be not aware of these kind of features which are inside, but it's all in.
Yeah.
So from the first movement on, it's all in. You do the first movement and it's Wuji. So it's basically that.
Yeah.
And so we always start with this kind of beginning, and you can have 2-3 movements. And that's it, and you just finish with a common end and with a just common closing, and that's it. And you can be happy with that, and you can work with that. You can just train, and next time you switch another part. Yeah, like that.
Yeah. It's a complete system, really. It's a complete ecosystem.
Yeah, you can call it ecosystem.
That's
nice.
Yeah. I've trained in hard styles, kung fu, karate. I've tried judo. I've tried jiu-jitsu. I've tried white crane kung fu, ninjutsu. I've trained lots of different styles, and for me, it's like the feels like this is like the emphasis is not so much on a style.
No,
it's a way of being whilst holding on to the concept of Wu, of the Wuji, of that, and so very, very different. And I remember when I first saw you on social media, an interview, I thought, oh, he's just doing Tai Chi. There's an assumption. There was an assumption. And then now feeling it, and then having seen it in action and felt, and obviously practiced and trained with Tai Chi people, it's very, very different. But a lot of similarities, but very different just another path down the mountain, really.
Yeah.
And what I liked is I felt like there's immediate effects. I didn't feel like I'm striving. It's like, okay, now we have this. And as you saw, I had to get over some mental blockages and release old patterns, which is quite common in any, when you're switching, you know, when you have ingrained habits. But there was something very special, very peaceful.
Yeah.
I felt a lot more at peace.
Yeah.
Almost, again, a different kind of peace to when I do the Qigongs. A very different kind of peace. And from a health benefit for me is I feel in my body and less stiff. There's less pain in my shoulder. My right shoulder's had a lot of damage over the years, and you know, and I feel after the training more confident about my, you know, being able to manage my health.
Yeah. You know, it's very, very beneficial for the body, especially for the organs, and all the most important teachings of traditional Chinese medicine are integrated into Wu Ji, and especially Master has been a very, very famous doctor of Chinese medicine with all features.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe it's again nice to talk about the different characters. So, you know, Wu Ji has the first 7 characters, for instance, are just basically featuring nature and having kind of as well expression for the spiritual growth you're going through. So the first set is called Yin, the second Yang. The third one is the dynamic deriving from the dynamics of Yin and Yang in motion, and it's called wind. So wind is another term for energy. So Tibetan it's called Lung or Prana, or you know, it's Qi. You know, so the wind is the expression of Qi in motion. So the first 2 sets are generating Qi, and basically the 2 ground forces of Yin and Yang. And by this, you know, the engine is starting. And the wind is just a kind of dispeller, and dispelling the energy from the inside, you know, and the generated Qi from the inside to the outside. So, and then after this, the clouds are gathering. After the wind, the clouds are gathering, which is mean the phenomena are just expressed
in the atmosphere.
You know, you see phenomena like you know, like quarks and particles coming together into form. You know, and from this form, the next part is starting. It's called the rain. So the rain, every set, every character has a specific characteristic. So the rain is featured by a certain movement. It's like this, you know, like this, you know, like a dropping movement, and so on. And so this is also, you know, featured in poetry, you know, but it's like a genesis. So you have the rain, and after the rain there is the clearing, and then there is the sky, and from the sky the sun is rising. You have the sunrise. You have the moon, which is the later set, you know, the moon, and you have the lake, the water again, and you have the reflection of the moon in the lake. So it's a kind of poetry, a natural poetry with it inside, and every character, every set has his differences and his specialties and a kind of new feature which makes it so beautiful and so joyful.
Yeah, wonderful. It's a living art.
It's a living art,
Yeah.
yeah. And everyone has a different body, and everyone will express it in a different way.
Yeah. For me, when I saw it, it was like immediately called to inquire and find out more, and and I think that, as you've said to me before, there has to be an openness of sharing, and there has to be, if there are people out there listening, if they know more and they feel they are able to share, then maybe contact Dr. Ortwin and have that discussion. I think it's important because we're at a crucial point, I think, in history where we can learn a lot from our past to move forward. We're at that tipping point, and for me, like preservation of the effort and the work and the mastery and the continual development and the continual evolution, never ending. It's never ending. And we're receiving this information from yourself and no doubt other people too, perhaps. And it's normal to evolve it slightly, a little bit.
Yeah.
In line with where the environment that we live in, in this case Berlin, to involve it if we live in a situation of high stress, or a situation where we're working very hard as a person, or we need to rejuvenate our health. It's natural to evolve and to be adaptable to our environment. And I think for me, the piece that I get from this training is a softness, a resilience, a naturalness, an openness that energy does exist, and that you can tap in, tune out as and when you need. You don't need to be doing it all the time, but the Wuji helps you to connect with this. I mean, it's kind of crazy when we think about how much is going on all at once, and there's a reason, I believe, why our brains filter out so much information, because we would go crazy, right? But the strength for me is bringing it brought a sense of real stillness. And I think we have technology here, but we are being pulled a little bit away from ourselves as humans. I feel a little bit kind of almost like we're becoming machines, automated machines, where we get up, we do this, we go to work, we come back, we do this, we go to bed, we wake up, we go. And the antidote to that is movement, breath, standing, moving, connecting. But when you use something like Wuji, which has had a big history of training and development and refinement, and this works better this way, you can try this way, you can experiment once you know how to move, and it's just this constant, almost like the Wu is like no mind, right? Just, as you said, just do. You just do. And afterwards I was like, the effects, I'm aware of the effects after the training, I'm aware of the effects during the training, I'm aware how the emotions change according to where I am at. And so in that way, it reminds me of Qi Gong and Nei Gong combined.
In motion. Yes. It's exactly that. So, therefore, I would like to emphasize that, for health workers in general, because, I'm in this field for long years, but it helped me along with, as well for coping with all this, sicknesses, mental sicknesses as well, people suffering a lot.
A lot of transference.
It helped me along with that, and especially if I shared some movements with them, it can be very helpful for them as well to recover and to get more strength again and to be better.
Okay, good. So on that note, we'd like to share that Ortwin will be in Ireland in August, beginning of August. I'll put the dates below this interview on the podcast. I'll give some details if you wish to reach out to Dr. Ortwin, you can. And we invite people in Ireland, those that know me, those that don't, or those that want to find out more, to reach out, and we can set in motion the wheels for introductory basics, really, and very, very open, very friendly. I would say, like his own teacher, very sharing, very open, gives you what you need, not what you think you want. And that's important. I think it's a beautiful alternative for people who are looking for something beyond what they've already studied. So for me, it's like I studied all these things, some cases to a very high level, and it served a purpose.
Yeah.
But now I feel like I'm going full circle back to the roots, to where all martial arts and all healing, all Qi Gong and Nei Gong began. I feel that's where I'm partially being drawn back to.
So I really would invite anyone, if you're a very beginner for this kind of, or just interested in how it could be different or how it could be in general, but as well if you are a very experienced martial artist, just share your way of being with us, and we will come together. We will have this, this workshop, and we will figure it out how Wu Ji can suit you.
Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you for inviting me, and we will see you soon. Thank you for listening.